Welcome to this week's SV Lynx video. Well, this was Christmas week, and as we talked about on our last video, prior to Christmas it did rain here, so we did not get anything done at the lot.
No, it rained all week, and that was a prediction, so we expected it. However, we did get some stuff done. We were working in my garage on the batteries, upgrading those BMSs, and we got that accomplished, and those batteries are now ready to go again, so we were happy about that. However, because there was no work down at the lot, and we've showed you building those batteries in previous videos, there's a link to one, we didn't bother showing you anything to do with the battery replacement of those, BMS replacement in those batteries. So what are we doing for this week's video? Well, what we thought, since we're coming up on New Year's pretty soon, that we would sort of do a review of what happened in 2023 on the building of SV Lynx. And then we'll get to what's going to be our plan for Phase 3 in 2024. So, to begin with, let's take a look at the Phase 2 and what we did and did not accomplish on that. So, what's number one?
We were going to work on fairing the port canoe.
Right.
Which we did.
A lot.
A lot.
many rounds of sanding and fairing and such on that. However, we didn't finish it.
And we were going to barrier coat the port canoe, which we of course did not get to because we haven't finished fairing and sanding.
Right, and then the third thing was to finish that the second starboard canoe completely from scratch all the way up to barrier coat. And that was the largest single thing in Phase 2 that we were going to accomplish, and we did accomplish that all the way to the barrier coat. So that was great. However, we still got about a week to go on the nagging port canoe, which we'll talk about in a moment in the Phase 3.
Yeah, so as we've pointed out, we haven't finished that, so we were not able to flip the port canoe over.
Right, which was also a Phase 2 thing.
Yeah. And then we were going to, if we had both canoes done, we were going to add the bulkheads between the hulls, which we did not get to.
Right, and then put in the webbing in the hull that goes under the sole of the thing, which is the floor of the canoes. And again, did not get to that.
And did not get to adding the decks and the side hull pieces.
So you can see we did not accomplish quite a few things. And that has put us behind. There's just no doubt about it. But I want to talk a little bit about why we're behind. And obviously, if you've been watching our videos, you know about the tunnel tent fiasco. Well, that has cost us quite a bit of time, and not to mention money, but that ate up, 3 weeks of time. And just between getting it and putting it up and dealing with the city and taking it down, so that was 3 weeks we lost there. And then, of course, we lost last week to rain, so that's another week.
Yeah, and we've had quite a bit of odd sections of rain, which they really poke a hole in your week. When it rains a little bit and then the ground is too wet to actually go there and work. So the weather has sort of been uncooperative all through this period.
Right. So all in all, it puts us a couple months behind when you total up all those different challenges that we were facing in Phase 2. That's okay. We'll see if we can make up some of that time in the next couple of phases, and if not, we'll go over a couple months. Remember, I had a 6-month contingency on this, so we're only a couple months into that, so we're still feeling like we're doing all right. So let's talk about Phase 3 and what we're planning to do in Phase 3 starting this month.
In 2024.
Right.
So now we are going to finish the port canoe and up through and including the barrier coat, which we're estimating about 1 week's worth of time.
Right, because that is nearly done. We've already put on the coating that we had to do of epoxy. So all we have to do is sand that, and then we can get to the barrier coat. So 1 week is probably overestimating how long it'll take. But we are in the rainy season now. And so to say, okay, it's going to take 2 days to finish that, will probably take a week, because we'll probably lose a day or two during the week just to rain.
Yep. We're also going to flip both canoes and rotate them around, which we are thinking is going to take about a week or so.
Right. Remember that originally we didn't plan on rotating them, and we just changed our mind on that. And it actually became, this is a small silver lining, but it actually became easier to rotate them around now that we have to move the shipping containers out of the way, because that leaves room for us to come in from the side there where the shipping container currently is and use the Bobcat to help us. So it actually is going to make it a lot easier to both rotate them and flip them over. So we're going to get both of those turned, and because we want that stern over by the work area, so we don't have to walk all the way down to the far end of the lot every time we want to take a piece up onto the boat. It'll just be a lot better. And this actually makes it easier to do, so we might as well, make lemonade out of those lemons.
Okay, and then once we have them flipped and rotated, we're going to finish the interior of both canoes, which will be hopefully about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that involves, there's a lot of squeeze out on the inside there, and we've gotten in underneath and taken out some of that on the porthole, but the starboard hull, we haven't done anything on that yet. So we'll have to flip them over. After they're flipped over, we'll go in there with the sander and we'll take out all that excess, and there'll probably be some gaps and stuff that we'll have to fill, sand that again, and now we're going to put a single layer of fiberglass down the whole interior of both hulls, and then we're going to reinforce that with a strip that goes under each bulkhead, but not a complete layer of the whole hull. And so that's just by the plans of what we're supposed to do there. So once we get that interior of those bulkheads fiberglassed in, now we're finally ready to put the major bulkheads across. And we're going to do it sort of in a reverse order. We're going to go from the original plan, though, because we're going to go from the bow of the boat, we're going to put in that bulkhead, and we're going to work backwards all the way to the stern so that the Bobcat can keep coming in and setting the next big bulkhead in. That way we don't have to lift those very heavy crossing bulkheads. So that'll make that a lot easier to go. And so that's probably about 2 weeks. It'll only take us 1 day to temp them all in, but we've got to glass in, tab them in, and all that good work to get them all aligned and braced and all that good stuff. So it'll take a couple weeks to get those in. And that includes, by the way, not just the ones that cross, but the bulkheads that are in each canoe as well. And there's some temporary bulkheads that even go in there. And those get removed later once the decks and hull pieces are in.
And then another couple weeks for the bilge webs.
Right. Those are the supports for the sole, and so we'll get all those put in, and again, they have to all get tabbed in and such.
And then another couple weeks for the decks and the hull pieces.
Right, these are full-length pieces. Now, we already, in phase 1, seamed these together, so these pieces are already 50 feet long waiting, and so all we have to do is put them in place and put tabs along those seams to get those in. So that won't be terribly hard, but there are several of them, so we figure a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So basically we need the first couple months of phase 3 to make up for what we didn't get done in phase 2 because of all those delays we mentioned. And so what can we then accomplish new in phase 3? Well, the majority of that time is going to be spent building the cabin top. And that is not the order that we were going to build in, although it doesn't hurt to go in this order. But we want to build the cabin top next and put it on simply because that gives us a roof over our heads. And that means that rain isn't coming down into the boat because now we have the decks on and we have the roof on. And it's makes it easier to cover with tarps and such. So we're going to put that in out of order, because there won't even be a floor in the boat yet, because we're going to do that, the whole bridge deck floor system, after we get the roof on top to give us that coverage. And then we'll build that in phase 4 underneath the boat, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, it's only going to take us maybe 6 weeks or so to build that cabin top, and it should easily be done in that, but I'm also counting a couple of those weeks of 2 months there lost to rain. So it is the rainy season, and we're out in the rain now. So we're gonna just have to, when it rains, we're gonna have to cover things and not work that day, so, or those days. So that, I'm starting to leave time in for, especially during our rainy season right now, for a couple weeks here and there that we're just not gonna get something done. And so that's what we intend to get done in phase 3. So all the bulkheads in, basically, and the cabin top onto the boat. And that's our plan. All right, so that is the downside, that we're a couple months behind. But I also want to talk a bit about the positives as well. In 2023, we got a lot of things done. There is a lot that we got done in this 8 months, and I'm very excited and happy with our achievement, is what I want to say here. And just because we're a little bit behind doesn't mean we didn't achieve all those things. And so we've made progress, and we're going to continue to make good progress. And so we don't really worry too much about the past because we can't change it. This is where we're at, and we just want to move forward. And that's the way we move forward. Now, some other things that we're doing in the very near future, which are still wasting our time. We have those shipping containers, which we are in the process of selling right now. I just showed it to somebody yesterday. And once those are out of the way, we have to bring in our toy box. And tomorrow we're going to look at one to purchase. And so we have that ready to go in. It's about 32 feet long, the one we're going to look at, which not quite as long as our 40-foot container, but it's still a good size. It will certainly hold the most of all of our pieces that you're going to see us moving out of those shipping containers in our next video, because we have to get them all out. And that's a whole week of work to empty those shipping containers. So again, lost time in this whole city rules fiasco stuff. But it is what it is, and we're going to do it. And so we're getting that done. And we have a plan for phase 3, and we're hoping to stick to it this time. We'll see. So we'll check again in April, and that will be when we reach the end of phase 3, that will be the end of actually our first year, because remember we started in April. So this is our 2023 update, but it isn't a full year of work yet. This is the first 8 months, and the next phase is the next 4 months, and that'll put us at 1 year exactly. Now, we will not be where we expected to be in 1 year, but we already mentioned that we are 2 months behind, so not surprising. So that's where we are at on SV Lynx. We want to thank you all for watching our video. We always appreciate it. And again, lots of nice comments on the recent videos in sympathy for our troubles, and a lot of suggestions. One gentleman even sent us a hand-drawn diagram of his suggestions for how we could build our tunnel tent as part of the boat attached to it, and put wheels on under the shipping containers to turn them into trailers and get around the city this way. Unfortunately, that's not possible. There's like a lot of reasons why. The first, of course, is that now the city's only allowing us to go 16 feet up, whether it's the boat or not. So we really can't build that kind of structure even if it was part of the boat and could get around that. And it would be just way too hard and expensive to put wheels onto those shipping containers. And I'm not sure that would even get past the city anyway. So it might be a big expense for nothing. So we're just going to sell them and switch to trailers to put stuff into, which are legal on the lot. And so we'll just comply. You can't fight City Hall. It's an old saying, but it's absolutely true. So we're just going to work within their rules and get it accomplished that way. So that's it for this week's video.
Yep. Onward to a new 2024.
Yes.
Thank you so much to everyone for watching, and all of our patrons that we have listed. And don't forget to like and subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of our next video.
And I promise you that next week you're going to actually see us working.
Yeah.
Because we're back to work, and we're going to work hard at it. There is going to be a rain day or two this week predicted, but we still have a few sunny days, so we will get some work done, and we will soldier on and get this boat built. All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.